So this is kind of the question of like, where do you start? How do you get going? The cool thing is a lot of the engines, not even just Unreal and Unity, but a bunch of them have a really easy ramp. You can just go get some beginning tutorial and go. And so, like, I'm in the prototype stage, right? And I'm still learning. I always learn. There's an endless amount of stuff, right? And so I will explore and I will try things. I will watch YouTube videos. Yeah, be careful. But I will soak in a lot of different information on how to do things and kind of see how to do things. And then I'll have a day where I'm like, okay, now I'm just going to trash everything. And that is, I am not going to go look for any reference. I'm going to pretend that I know how to do things, try to do them. And then I'm like, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? Let me figure this out. And then it's kind of that way of learning that for me works. Now everybody's different. But it is hard to kind of get started. And I find it really is, like now I am good enough that I can just jump in and I can make things and they kind of work the way that I want. And then it's about polish and edge cases. But when you're just getting started, just find the tutorial that makes Pong or whatever the stupidest, easiest thing to do is. And you're going to learn a bunch. You're like, oh, that's what that means. Oh, that's what that is. Okay. Oh, that's what that is, right? And the first stuff you're going to do is terrible. Like if you're in Unreal, you're going to know blueprints and you're going to do everything in that original event graph. You're not going to know anything about functions, let alone like components or interfaces, and all that stuff's going to come later. And that's okay. That can come later. That can come later. That is totally fine. Right? The cool thing to do is just get it going. I remember, I think the very first thing I can remember programming was in a Commodore 64. I think Commodore 64. I don't think VIC-20 I did anything. Maybe. I did number stuff. But like that I can actually remember something was a Commodore 64 was a balloon going across the screen. And it was just like, oh my God. And I like brought my mom down to see it because look at the TV. I made that happen. And it was a really cool, empowering moment. And it's like take that simplicity of that and just do that. And then kind of the reward is you see the thing you made. You're like, oh, okay. And you'll see the warts, you'll see the problems, but you'll also be like, oh, right? And then just keep doing that. And then, sometimes you find out some things aren't for you. I'm a bad animator. I just don't have the feel for it. Like I know when someone does it really well. And so all my animation stuff's really bad. Now there's a bunch of tools coming that make it easier, so I will revisit that after the next update. But for now, I just don't do animation. Or I know it's bad. I'm going to pick something up and throw it in, and I know someone will fix that. That kind of thing. But yeah, just jump in and try. And don't make Tarkov day one, right? Just make the simplest, silliest little thing you can. Make something that you interact with. Just you see it on the screen and it does its thing that you want it to do, and like that's the reward, and you just keep that loop going and it gets more complex over time. That's what works for me. I don't know. I would say the one thing I know overwhelmingly that I hear people again and again, don't pay for some big course that's going to teach you how to make an RPG because you learn at the surface level how to do everything and never the reason why. It's way better to learn in spurts and try things and then understand why it doesn't work, I think. That is more than just me thinking. That's a lot of people. Don't go to Udemy or whatever that is. That is just a horrible, oh, but they're on sale for only $10. Yeah.